Are you feeling the pressure of being happily single? If you are feeling that pressure and you know deep down, I really want to be married right now, we're going to talk about it because it's a real thing. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes.
But before we do, with Terrence and Jill, a God-Ordained union, and our purpose is clear. We are here to help increase God-Ordained union.
Yes, we are so pro-marriage. It's not a political thing. It's not a religious thing. We know that there is a great benefit in two working together for the purpose of one purpose, for the sake of one purpose. So if you're single and you're desiring marriage, you've been praying for marriage, you've been wanting marriage, and particularly singles who are discouraged, getting a little discouraged, this is definitely the channel for you. That was our story. I was 48 when I came across Terrence's profile on a dating app, and actually it was an outdated profile. He hadn't been on that site for what?
5 years almost.
5 years. And so I came across this profile, and I was 48 years old, and we started dating when I was like 50, and then we got married when I was 52.
I was 54.
Yeah, and I had never been married, never had an engagement, a proposal, wasn't a dater, very much a homebody. And so yeah, and so this channel we help you to believe the impossible, because the impossible can happen. When everybody counted me out, I knew that I desired marriage. I knew that God had marriage for me. In my reality, it didn't look possible, but I knew God, and so I literally, this video is very is personal, because I was a happy single person, and I'm going to explain that. Even though I desired marriage, I was happily single. I was fulfilled, and I was waiting well, as they say. And so we're gonna, and it wasn't always that way, but at the latter part, before Terrence came into my life, I was very much happy in where I was in my life. And so we're going to talk about it. But make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. This channel is all about encouraging singles.
Yes.
We want to see you win. We want to see you married, but not just married to your person. Do not settle. We did not settle. And so we want to see you married to your person. And if we can do our little part to encourage you, that's what we do. And on this channel, let me tell you what we mainly do. We show you what's blocking you. We primarily show you what's keeping you from your person, because it's personal, because there was several blocks on me that was keeping me blocked up. There was some blocks on you too.
Yeah, there was some blocks on me. I believe there's some blocks on all of us.
Yes.
I think it's something that we all have to come to terms with, is that we're not perfect.
Right.
And as much as we use that as an excuse sometimes, or a punchline for somebody, it's actually a true statement.
Right. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, go to the description, see when we go live, when we drop pre-recorded videos like this, so you see our ebook. Ladies, you must get the ebook. It is a game changer for you. You want to know what those blocks are and how to get rid of them? Get the ebook. Also, we have a prayer call that happens every week. We have a private group that happens twice a month. We do one-on-ones, all that great stuff. You can find out in the description below. Also, follow us on IG. That's where we do our day-to-day living. So if you want to see everything from us eating to us cooking to us enjoying the great outdoors, us traveling, whatever we're doing, most of the time you're going to see us home, because we are homebodies. But that's where you'll see it on IG. So go follow us there. The link is below in the description.
Yes.
Okay. So there is this. there's this young lady that I follow on social media, and she has this. She's very much a homebody, and she has this whole spiel or this whole argument, that she don't need a man, that people put too much emphasis on men or whatever. And this is the thing. I don't follow her mom, but her mom is also single, and her mom has this big platform where everything is about a no good man. So she gets it. Honestly, it is definitely a generational pattern. And so this young lady, she's also talking about how she has this great single life. She's a homebody, but when I see it, I see loneliness. Because if you ain't on social media like that.
I see contentment.
Yes. If you
see frustration,
you see discontentment, you see frustration. Yeah. So if you on social media like that's to me, that's like a cry out for I'm lonely, I need y'all. So in actuality, you're coming across as happily single when you really, really want companionship. And at the end of the day, we were programmed for that. Like we really do. Women, we were created for, I believe, according to the word of God, we were created for a purpose, is to help our male counterpart. And so yeah. So there's a lot of, I think there is, there's this, I think, because I was there, I was one of in that number before. I think because singlehood has been painted as a negative, that those of us who are single and who were single gotta put this facade up, or this, no, we're not bad people. We gotta put this label on. So we put this label of I'm happily single. And while that is true for a lot of people it's not. And you can really tell the fake ones. And you'll see the fake ones because they're totally packing their lives. They're all over the place. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. One day they doing this, and you look at one day they doing this, and one day they're a chef, and then the next day they're trying to find themselves. And what it is trying to fill a void of what you're missing the love of your life. You're missing the love of your life. And I think the biggest takeaway, and we're going to give it to you in the beginning, the biggest takeaway with this is that happiness, even though it is based on what's happening
right now,
it's really an inside job.
Mm-hmm.
Joy is really what you want. We say happiness, we use them interchangeably, but it really is an inside job. Mm-hmm. And so,
So, if I think back for me, one of the things that, I would tell you that is important, I believe, in this, and we're going to cover it today, but
just 5 points we want to make.
5 points. One of the things I'm going to share with you is the first point, because I think that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
We got to learn how to disconnect. What do I mean by that? I mean, with social media, with all the technology, we have gotten so much information being thrown at us from the entire world that people are now thinking they got to fill every second of their day being a part of something, some group. Some type of community, some type of event, they got all these things to the point to where you don't even have time to decompress. You don't have time to reflect. You don't have time to relax. You don't have time to just
think, hear from the Lord.
Yes, even to the point to where you probably, like with me personally, I can't even remember half the phone numbers I used to remember. Back in the day, I used to have probably hundreds of numbers in my head. Now, if my kids ask me their number, I'm gonna go to my cell phone and pull it up.
We're so consumed.
We're so consumed with technology and thinking
so much
that
information.
we got to do so much stuff to where we really got to disconnect.
We got to disconnect.
We got to give ourselves a moment every day to where we can just decompress, where we can restore ourselves, where we can heal, where we can, exhale, and we got to be able to release. And in doing so, be able to take accountability of where we are and what actually makes us happy, what actually gives us joy, what actually gives you peace. So you can even know what that even looks. Do y'all even know what makes you happy? Do you even know what gives you peace? Do you even know where your joy is going to come from? If you don't know, then how are you going to ever get it? Because we're looking outside. It's an internal thing. We got to get inside ourselves. But in order to do that, we got to disconnect.
Yeah.
and take some of the stuff that's inside of us that shouldn't even be.
Yeah.
And get rid of it.
Disconnecting is huge to pursuing your happiness. Because we, like you said, we're so controlled and influenced by the external, whether it's on the job, whether it's in our churches, whether it's in our families, whether it's in social media, but we're driven to get a community, and we also are running from being lonely. And so I don't. We're not saying isolate,
right?
But we're saying disconnect from the influences, the external influences, and sometimes that means disconnecting and being alone. I think it was the therapist that dropped in our private group a couple of weeks ago. But I think it was her who made a point. It was somebody who made a point. But they said you got to be very cognizant if you're one who like to travel all the time. So if you're trying to find your happiness, like outside of, like your home is a reflection of yourself, of your internal. So if you never like to be home and you always got to be outside, that is something you might want to ponder, because that means, why don't you like to be? What is wrong with your personal space? Are you running from your personal space? And, so traveling might seem like a nice, goal to have. And yeah, I'm going to go find myself. But if you've got to find yourself on an island or at the beach, then you might want to say, wait a minute, this is a little weird. And so, disconnecting is vital. Disconnecting in order to really pursue happiness and to really understand who that mate is going to be, like what you really like. You got to disconnect. You got to disconnect from people's opinions. You got to disconnect from, just disconnect. Whatever disconnect looks like for you, do it. Disconnect.
Yeah. I remember not getting a phone call one weekend. Didn't realize that my phone was off. Didn't even realize my phone was off. But what I found out, though, after that weekend was over, what I did, I looked back on it and I was like, but I actually enjoyed the quiet. And it taught me something. And that was years ago. And back then I was really, really heavy into multi-level marketing. So I'm always on my phone, always on social media. And for that weekend, I really realized I enjoyed the quiet so much that it's grown over the years. And even now, as soon as she and I get home from work, she will tell you I can go in upstairs and put my phone on the charger and not even look at my phone until it's time for us to go back to work Monday.
Mm-hmm. You remember how we're Gen Xers, so I don't know, y'all millennials and Gen Zers, y'all might not get this one, but I remember when we were younger and it would thunderstorm outside, our grandmother used to say, turn them lights off. And then, God forbid, if all the electricity would have gone off, that would have been the perfect time to sit at grandma's feet and listen to what she had to say.
Yeah.
She had our full attention.
A story about something she grew up in, something she learned, something she's trying to. Yeah.
Listen, we would be in New York and the thunderstorms, and we were all the grandchildren who were there, because for years it was just 7 of us. at least 4 of us, at least the girls, would run right into bed with my grandparents when it's thundering and lightning, and we would be in the middle of both of them, and they'd be like, I guess that would get you in here. And so they would, hearing them talk, and we were able to disconnect and to really hear life and really be restored and replenished. And so, yeah. Number 2.
Number 2 is eliminate. Now, I like number 2 because that's where you also find out how important some things are and how unimportant some things are. And what I've learned, I got a buddy, he has this saying. His saying is, I only care about 5 things. As long as it ain't these 5 things, I care less what happens. If it involves these 5 things, somebody's going to have to deal with me one-on-one. So, but that's what he did. He broke down his whole life and said, if it ain't his wife, if it ain't his children, if it ain't, something within those 5 things, he wasn't going to have a responsibility, concerned about it. It was out of his circle of control. He was going to not even let that worry him. Why? Because he didn't want his blood pressure going up every time something changed. And that's what we got to do. We got to learn how to eliminate some things that don't matter.
One-sided friendships.
And that's what I found out about, as I was going through my journey. There were some things that I just learned over the years that I didn't need. I didn't need a bunch of friends. I just need to have a few that I know I could count on when I needed them for whatever it was I needed. You know what I mean? You don't have to have 20 ride or dies, but you can have a really, really good 2 or 3, you know what I mean? And really have a better quality of life, because it's eliminating all the stuff that you thought was necessary at one point. But as you grow and as you mature, you learn that you don't need all of those things. So I started eliminating the things that wasn't something that I had to have in the season that I was in. And that could change from season to season.
One of the things that I eliminated when I was single right before Terrence came, I eliminated the thought that friendships was based on, that the quality of friendships was based on years. And I say that because the friend that I met, Z, who is a faithful follower of this channel, my friend Z, I met right before I met Terrence. And she and I started hanging like really tough. But then I also had my best girlfriends that I've had for 30 plus years. And so, but I eliminated, and so I say that to say, for so long, I did not have room for new friends to come in because I set in my mind, friendships were based on, and the quality and the loyalty of friendships were based on years, how much time they've been in my life. So I prided myself off of, we've been friends for, since we were teenagers, or we've been friends since college, and so when I eliminated that was one of the things I eliminated. It actually made room for even you to come in. It made room for new people who, for new opportunities, and just that was just one of the things that I had eliminated. The other thing, the current thing that I've just eliminated, is that I've made up in my mind and in my life, what have you say your friend at 5 non-negotiables. I've made up in my mind that I will no longer participate in workouts or exercises that are causing me stress. So if I've got to be stressed out of how I'm going to get to the gym and how much time I'm going to have to go to the gym, you know what? I've decided I'm not even getting a gym membership. If it's going to stress me out of when I need to go and how I need to go and how long I need to be and I don't feel like working out, that's too much stress. I'm not doing it. What makes me feel good is walking, going out. I love walking out in the morning and during lunchtime. I get excited about walking. And so I've eliminated things that have triggered stress levels, and I've just eliminated.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because you said something about making room for me. And here's something that I think is important when it comes to elimination is decluttering.
Yeah.
Y'all heard Jill and I talk about when we was at the apartment, how we started with the closet that was in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. The
pantry. And we cleaned it out. Okay. And realized we had a whole lot more room in that thing than we thought we did once we got rid of stuff that shouldn't have been in there. But then we transferred that and went to the spare bedroom and we started decluttering that. We even took the bed down and got ready. Now we're starting to make faith moves and say, we're going to speak it. We're going to go ahead and get ready for moving. So when it comes, we're ready. By decluttering, you'd be surprised of how much room you make for what God has for you that you have been praying for. You say you've been waiting for, but you didn't have the room for.
And you know what the powerful thing with that is, because we gave this assignment in our private group. I think it was like 20 things. Mm-hmm. And we gave it, I think it was like the middle of February, and it was a 90-day assignment. So I think it was supposed to last from like February to May. And one of the tasks on there was to declutter. Mm-hmm. And we did it. And we, saw some of the group members posting, they was decluttering and all of that. We did it. What we did not know was that God was positioning us to buy a house. So that challenge was from February to May. The end of March, we had decluttered. We had already decluttered the room, the pantry. Mm-hmm. We was working on our bedroom closet. We didn't know why. We were just going along with the assignment. The end of March, the Lord was like, that new development that y'all have been looking at, call the salesperson and see if they have any more of the models left that y'all liked. And when you begin to, when we're talking about pursuing happiness, when you begin, and we were saying it's an inside job, it's an internal job. When you start to declutter, you can hear, you start to hear.
Because you're getting rid of stuff.
You're getting rid of stuff.
You from hearing from God.
Yes, you're starting to. And so these are the things we're talking about. This is things that's going to start make you, that's happening, that will happen, this to start making you happy. And so you don't have to be concerned about what they're doing on social media and comparing your life to it. Really is, you start to really get
you're spending more time living than you are reading about other people. Listening to people talk about what they have that you feel you should have or you don't deserve. No, go live. Declutter. Start getting rid of some stuff.
Eliminate, disconnect.
And make room for the things that you want. And in this case, what also was a benefit was because we'd already decluttered a couple of the rooms in the apartment, then when it was time to move, that was less stuff we had to back up because we had already done half the apartment, or if not all of it. We had done a lot of it and got rid of a lot of stuff. So we was already into that journey or into those steps because it just made it simpler that we'd already decluttered.
Right. The third one is sewing. And when we was decluttering, the stuff we was having, I was giving away designer purses, shoes, new shoes, of course, clothes. We were just sewing. We was just like, okay, we're going to give it to, and then also sewing into your own spirit, sewing the word. And
you making room, start sewing back into yourself. Put the word in, read what the word says about your situation, the things that you're desiring. And start putting those. Now you're starting to learn a little bit more because you put more energy into the word. You're starting to get a better understanding. So now you're starting to slowly but surely change how you pray, change how you speak into your own life, into your own future.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And I want to reiterate, like also sow into others, because I remember when I was, I was supporting other people. I was, you say a bridal shower? Oh, I was there. You say go help with the baby shower? I was there. Like I might have been a homebody, but if it was some type of social event and they needed help, and they needed my help, I was sewing into it. Like I was going to help people. I didn't take on that, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. I never took on that attitude. I just kept, I was just supporting people. I was, sewing, and I was doing it from a really pure place. Like it was really a pure place. And so
what I love about that too is when you're sewing into others, is a lot of people just don't realize it, but when you sow into other people, you spend less time stressed out about your own situation.
Yeah.
And that changes the quality of life just because it reduces your stress.
Yep. Number 4, cultivate. You got to start cultivating. So what you do have, take care of that thing. If God's giving you gives talents and skills, cultivate those, utilize those things. If he's giving you, a word for someone, or he's giving you, cultivate that, make sure you, abiding in the word of God, work, and because that's where joy is going to happen. So it's going to go from happiness to now joy. Joy is going to start there. It's like, regardless of anything happy, I'm waking, I'm just joyful. Regardless of what's happening today, I don't know what's going to happen today, but I'm just full of joy. I'm full of peace. I'm full of listen. And that's when you start to really be really happily single. It'd be like, look, I'm home today. I'm chilling. I might go out. I might throw on a baseball cap. I might go get me something to eat, chill out. These are the people who can go out and go dine alone. I might go get me something to eat. Matter of fact, I might dress up today and I feel like some Italian. I might go to Maggiano's or whatever. I might sit at the bar. I might go. That's when you see those types of people. They're at the place where they're cultivated and they're watering and they're replenished and they're replenishing and they are really pouring into who the God inside them is. Those are the people who are seeking ye first the kingdom, what's inside, and cultivating that thing and being real selective and watering that thing and making sure they clipping and pruning their flowers and they cultivating that thing. And that's,
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And then the last one
is probably my favorite of all, which is gratitude.
Yeah.
You have to have a heart posture of gratitude in everything, every day. When I'm at work, people come to me just to ask me how my day is because they love my response. And it's amazing how many people have to think of something to be grateful for every day. Something that they're looking forward to. And it's like, well, he got you up this morning. He already got you out the house. He got you out here in this fresh air. He got you here. That's why I love even serving, even when it's just not us talking about our platform. It's just in everything that we're doing, we're looking to serve. We're looking to appreciate people. We're looking to show appreciation for everything that God has done, but everything that we're experiencing throughout the day. Just continuously showing gratitude about it. And you'd be surprised when you do that, how other people see it and feel like they have to do something to take care of you or to show you that you're appreciated. And we get so many things, I think, just because we're already grateful for what's going on in our lives already.
But that's the overflow, because this is when you're not, this is how when you're sitting in your home by yourself, this is how when you're truly happily single or married or whatever. Gratitude is an inside job. When you can sit and you can say, I truly love. It's a difference in you sitting in the house moping and crying about your situation and you sitting in your house at peace and just enjoying. That's gratitude. And that once you go out with it and people see it, people can see it. That's what attracts people to you, because for one, they could see the joy of the Lord on you. They could see the gratefulness on you. They could see that. And so people are attracted to happy people. And so, gratitude, everyone's like, you got to have gratitude. Remember Oprah used to say gratitude, and I used to say, what does that mean? Like, how do you do that? how do you do gratitude? And I've learned over the years, it really is an inside job. It is gratitude is being grateful, like really, truly loving the space you're in the time you're in it. Really being able to sit wholeheartedly and say, I'm grateful for this. Mm-hmm. I like my job. I really do. I like my home. I like my apartment. I like who I am today. I'm grateful that I got this thick hair. It really is sitting in your place without complaint.
And it's not saying you shouldn't want other things.
Right.
It's just saying that you appreciate the season that you're in now, and you don't take it for granted because you know you're going somewhere. You know, even if you didn't know it, you still appreciate everything right now in this moment. That's why it's amazing sometimes when you go out and you're sitting at a restaurant sometimes and you look over, you look around and you see a couple tables where there might be a family or just a group of people sitting there, but they're all on their cell phones. Ain't none of them talking to each other.
Nobody's in the moment.
It's like, in my mind, when I see that, the only thought to go through my mind is, they all could have actually ate at separate places because ain't none of them present in that moment with the other ones that's at the same table.
Wow.
And it's like, you know what? I get you got a cell phone. I get it. I get that everything is right there at the push of a button. But you chose to go to this dining and take this dining experience with a group of people. Enjoy it. Have conversations with them. You know, see what happens. See how the day is. You know, just see. You know, you don't have to just, you know, be in your own thing all the time. Appreciate them, because there's going to be a day when you're going to say, man, I wish such and such was here. I wish, you know, we could go do this with such and such.
Which goes back to the difference between that and number one, as far as disconnect, is that when you're sitting in gratitude, when you go, you don't go to the community or with other people seeking something,
right,
or trying to be happy, trying to gain happiness from them. You're literally taking your happiness with you. You're not going to find your community so that you can be more social. That's the difference, is that when you go out when you're able to go out, or even when you're able to reconnect on social media, you're going with the grateful for where you are. I like how they doing. I like her outfit of the day, but I also like my denim outfit today. The outfit, you know what I mean? You're at a place of not.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening with singles. I think they're looking outside of their situation and wanting
something that they see from somebody else.
Somebody else
outside of them.
And that's the difference. It's like, how do you tap into really being happily single, like truthfully, even though you really want to be married? And you could really want to be married and still
enjoy your singleness.
Still be happily single. You could still be happily single, but you also know, like, okay, that ain't happening right now. I had a friend. She used to always say, "Listen, I ain't married right now, but until I get married, I'm gonna go ahead and make me $1 million." And she did, and now she is married, happily married. And so I think when you really be present and enjoy your present and enjoy everything that you have. And if you ain't got everything you want right now, make it happen for yourself. That is part of happiness. Make stuff happen. Make stuff happen. You're waiting for stuff to happen to you and for you. And a lot of it, you got to make stuff happen. You've got to make stuff happen. And so it is really an inside job.
And here's something I want you to also put in the back of your mind. So many of you have said you've been disappointed by people. Well, the reason why you've been disappointed by people is because you've been putting your happiness, your joy in their hands.
In their hands.
Take it back. Those things are internal. Okay? And we're telling you, look inside and do your thing the way you want it done, the way you feel it should be done. You know, your joy, your peace, you know, and your day-to-day happiness, make all of that happen, like she just said, yourself. That way, you're not looking and giving other people the power to approve or disapprove anything you're doing.
Right.
That way, you don't have to worry about every single day somebody disappointing you.
Right. And if you don't figure it out now, what you're going to do is you'll meet your person and you'll put all of the responsibility of your happiness onto them. And the enemy loves those types of marriages because they know that the assignment is not getting done.
Because you're easily distracted.
You're distracted and you're mad.
About the things that you think is keeping you from being happy.
Right.
And it ain't their responsibility to make you happy.
Right, exactly.
So they can never make you happy.
Never. It's an inside job.
They can never give you joy anyway. They can never give you peace anyway.
It's an inside job. So don't feel pressured to, you know, be happily single, you know, because it's coming across as fake. You could really be happy.
Yeah.
Single and married.
And a lot of times all you have to do is declutter. Get rid of some stuff that shouldn't even be in your life.
Disconnect, declutter.
Whether it's cleaning up a room, but also whether it's getting rid of stuff that you've been holding in your heart that shouldn't be there.
Right.
You know, get rid of it.
Right, right. We hope this helps.
So with that being said, as always, please, 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 drop your comments. Go back to the word. See what it says about your situation. Where it is you're trying to go. Where it is you'd like to go. And then we look forward to seeing you guys in our next video.
Yes. Peace.